I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? Oh man, that has just become one of those things. I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna walk into a room and go, "What's up, people?" I'm just gonna do that. I think that's gonna be like my whole little tagline or whatever. But whatever the case may be, you know it's me. It's Yaya, and I have an amazing guest on my show today. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's William Demps on the show. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's up? Yeah, I'm doing amazing. And as we talked a little bit before the show. I was going through some things. I was not feeling my
Yeah.
best, but today I'm 110%, and I'm glad to be with you.
100, man. I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, man. I'm so
Yes.
happy to have you on the show. It's just a blessing to definitely have you here. So let's go back a little bit because this whole Dream Chasers Radio is all about giving, people those little clues and those little things to help
Yeah.
them and motivate them to go forward. Everybody has a beginning. What was yours like?
Yes. My beginning, it started with church. It absolutely
Mm,
started with church. But I'll back it all the way up. My parents were PKs, and so they grew up serving in church. And so that same mantle of service and faithfulness to the house of God was poured into me. And so right before they became pastors, I was a part of the youth choir. And then they believed that children are like arrows. So they shot me in the direction that they believed God, was showing them I was going, and I'm so grateful. And so I joined the Washington State Mass Children's Choir, and that was my first entry into, professional recording. And so I started there as one of the lead vocalists. I think I was maybe, I'll say somewhere between 9 and 11. And
mm-hmm.
so we traveled a little bit, and that was my beginning. And from there, my parents start pastoring. So I became the minister of music. Check this out, at the age of 12, y'all. And so I
What?
start, I learned how to play the keys. I've always sang, because growing up in a pastor's house and coming from a lineage of pastors, you're gonna usher, you're gonna play an instrument, you're gonna do
Oh yeah.
something. But
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to play. For many years I frammed, as my daddy would say, on the keyboard. But one Sunday it starts sounding good. Me and my brothers, one played the drums, another played the bass. And that's where I got my training, is just being
Mm.
faithful in the house of God. And from there, by the time I think middle school happened, my dad said, man, you can sing, you can play, you need to be writing your own music. And
Oh
so it
wow.
was him that pushed me to start developing my own message. And so that's where it all started from. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So many people got their start at the
hmm
church,
In the
man. I'm telling
church.
you. In the
Yes.
church, being faithful, man. I'm telling you. I'm
There you
telling you.
go.
Oh
It's so much to be
gosh.
said. It's so much to be said for that. And, I just want to encourage anybody that's in that position right now. Sometimes I remember sitting on the organ playing for daddy and mom's service. And like, man, I would hear words of prophecy and words of knowledge, man. One day God's going to send you out across the world. And I'm like, okay, I wish it was today. I'm tired of doing this. But it was that very thing, that, prepared me for when God would launch me out. I didn't know it wouldn't be too long. I think I start traveling at the age of 17,
Wow.
doing music independently. And one of my first stops was out there in California at the Music and Arts Seminar with the Hawkins. And so,
Oh wow.
God just opened up so many doors. I say that name, and that's just Gospel Dynasty,
Oh
and
yeah. Oh
God
yeah.
connect
I
me
know.
to them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was my start.
That was your start.
That was the start.
I
Yeah.
cannot match that start, man. How you got to start like that, dude? I mean,
Man,
come on.
well, it is said that he does all things well. He does
Yes.
all things well. Yeah, so
Oh,
I'm grateful for the journey.
definitely, definitely, man. So after that, you got into the
Yes,
music. You got the bug because that's what it is.
yes.
It's a bug.
Come
It
on,
does,
it
and
is a
it's an
bug.
irrational bug. I mean, doesn't really make any sense really to
It
have the bug.
really doesn't.
At the- How you gonna? I mean, literally, how you gonna pay your bills? I mean, especially now.
Listen,
There, okay, right now. Before
how?
in the past.
Yes.
it was a little bit more promising. It was a little bit more of
Hmm.
a career. Now it's more like
Right.
a hobby. You make a little bit of money, you
I'm trying to
tour.
tell you.
You better
I'm
get
trying
out
to
there and
tell you.
sing. You ain't gonna make no money.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta have a plan. And that's why I'm so grateful for my dad. He told me, he said, son, you can sing, you can play, but he said it's important that you learn how to write because writers, come on, if you're writing
Uh-huh.
the music, you can make some money. And it's really important. And I think that all of those different elements from being able to play, because at first I didn't want to play, but that has also become something that has opened up many doors for me as well. And so for those that are fighting being multifaceted and you want to just be one dimensional, it's not the time for that because like Yaya said, in this music industry, you definitely want to be able to do more than one thing because the game has changed. You speaking truth and knowledge. Y'all better pick up all these nuggets. Pick it up.
I'm telling you, pick them up. I mean,
Yes.
okay, so the music industry is one thing, but you have big time major artists
Hmm.
doing,
Yes.
okay, they got their own restaurant. Like T-Pain just opened up his own restaurant.
Come on. Come
Okay.
on.
You got Rihanna. She got a makeup line.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. She's in the
Yeah.
movies.
Yes.
You got Drake. You got all these guys. They got their clothing
Yeah.
lines. They're in the
That's right.
movies. They're
Hmm.
doing other things
Yeah.
besides
Yeah.
music because
That's
right
right.
now music isn't where you're going to make
Hmm.
the bulk of your money.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
the other stuff. It's okay, the music,
Yes.
your name, and then the
Yep.
other stuff,
Yep.
which will bring attention to your music. Am I
Come
wrong
on.
in saying this, or am I like, am
No,
I,
I don't.
you know what I
No, I
mean?
don't think it's wrong. I feel like, and this is a great conversation that a lot of
Hmm.
people don't have that they should have in the beginning.
Exactly.
And I'm so grateful for my father. And it's funny. I'll share this. Some people don't know this, but by trade, before I was ever doing anything music majorly, I my dad taught me to cut hair. So I
Mm.
started off. I have a whole bunch of brothers. So my dad, when he started pastoring, he would cut. At first, he was cutting my brother, and when you have kids, you attract kids, right? And so all of my cousins would be at the house, and so my dad would cut our hair, and I was the son that back in the day it was all about the parts. You know what I'm saying? The high
Oh,
top. You come on, the Gumby and all that. You know what I'm saying? All
he
the
had the
not. Come
little
on, the
twirl.
'80s babies. I'm talking to y'all. So I would go, and I was trying to be fly, so I would go and I would play with his clippers, and he said, "Well, since you want to play with my clippers, let me show you how to cut." So at the age of 11, he showed me how to cut. So ultimately, yeah, what happened is around the time when I was developing musically, I was also developing a skill set that would sustain me, where I would be able to sort of do music and be able to survive and pay bills. And so by the time I graduated high school, I graduated with my cosmetology barber's license. So I own a salon. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So to your point,
wow.
people and I'll take it. Can I take it back to the word? I'm a pastor.
Take it
So
back.
let me
Go
take it
ahead.
back to the word. Paul not only preached the gospel, but while he was preaching the gospel, he didn't just depend upon the gospel to bring him income, even though, a worker is worthy of his hide, right?
Hmm.
He made tents. Come on, somebody. So
Yeah.
it's all about having an entrepreneurial spirit. If you're going to want to do great things, if you have vision for your life, you got to have, it said seven strings of income. You tapping into the business side of William Demps. But
Hey.
it's stuff that needs to be talked about because if you're going to
Yeah,
survive, if you're going to make it, you have to have a plan. So yeah,
definitely.
I'm grateful because my parents definitely set me up and shot me in the right direction and gave me a plan. Yeah,
Yeah. And I understand that because again, music is a great thing. And I think music
absolutely.
can be a career, but how many people really truly make it?
Not a lot of people make it, and so I tell people you really want to be, you really want to be strategic going in. And I had somebody tell me something, yeah, when I first started, and that was they said, William, if you don't sound, if you don't look like, if you don't present yourself anything like what you're seeing on television and radio, you might want to rethink it because that's
Hmm.
the standard. And
Yep.
so as I've developed, I start mirroring different people that I admired. And I would
Hmm.
serve, this is for singers. I turned that radio down and they told me, if you need to be mimicking what they're doing, because, shower singers, we think we doing something, huh? But when you start turning that thing down and listening to your voice right over,
No. Mm-mm.
what you listen to, you find out if you're really doing it. So, you have to, if you're going to make it, you really have to come up to that standard. And then the other
Yeah.
side of it is, there are multiple things that you can do in this industry other than just being on the stage, because everybody's not anointed for the stage.
Right.
But if you are, you got to do work to make sure that you're able to do it and not be struggling doing it. Yeah,
Definitely, definitely.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
definitely agree with you. And
yeah.
I love this conversation because a lot of people think, oh, look at William Demps. He's up there. He's in
Come
the
on.
limelight. But
Yeah.
man, William Demps has a barbershop,
Come on, come
a hair
on. And
salon.
that's just one of the businesses. We'll talk about that other stuff the next interview.
Yeah,
But
we got to
this
do
is
that. But
this is
come
the
on.
thing. I tell people that you have to have a plan, and that it doesn't always happen overnight. I think now we're living in a time where people go viral, which is amazing. We have the blessing of the internet. When I first came around, it was MySpace. You know what I'm saying? That was the biggest thing that we had, right? And so but things have opened up. We have the YouTube thing, and that's amazing. But nothing beats somebody that works hard, puts in the work, and does I would say they study their craft. So when
Hmm.
you're going after what you say you want, you can approach it with wisdom and
Yeah.
strategy. So that's a part of this. That's a part of this thing. Why I can say in my journey now and write a song like "It's All Right," because I've went through a lot of struggles. Even with having a great plan, life happens, right? And
Yep,
so,
it
yeah,
does.
yeah, I'm
Wow,
gonna
it
throw it back to
does.
you because I'll start preaching. Yeah,
It does. No, but seriously, I totally agree with you.
yeah,
Being in the music industry, because I'm in the music industry too, it's
hmm,
great. It's wonderful. But look,
yes,
I'm,
yeah,
why am I sitting here talking to you when I can sing? Because guess what?
uh
This is
huh.
the other thing that I never knew I was going to be good at.
Come on,
And sometimes you just have to follow the things that don't make
yeah,
any sense
come on,
because
come on,
that's going to be another path that you can
yes,
actually add on. So,
absolutely,
this podcast, this video now is
come on,
all over the world on not only on the internet, but
come
it's also
on,
on TV now. It's
yes,
on
yes,
Comcast. It's in
come
Africa.
on,
So
wow,
literally, I sing. I love singing, but
come on,
I come to realize that it's
hmm,
not just the singing. You have
wow,
so many different talents that you can bring out. And if you
yeah,
don't do your talent, no
yep.
one else can do what they're supposed to do. This is my problem. Come
I just
on.
want to piggyback on this, and I'm
Please
bringing it
do.
back. I'm bringing it back to the new music.
Yes.
This new single. All right. When I sat down with Eric Dawkins, which has been somebody that I've looked up to for years, from
Hmm.
Dawkins, and not just from his work with his brother, but Eric has worked with some everybody. When we sat down and we began to talk about the pandemic, we began to talk about our journey through the pandemic. We began to talk about the importance of being willing to learn the lesson. And when I hear you talk, what I'm hearing you
Yes.
say is, I had to learn to be open to what God was revealing to me and showing me about. Check this out. This is the point. The gracing that's over my life.
That's right.
Now,
That's
sitting at
right.
somebody, there's a
Come on.
gracing
Come
that's
on.
on. There's a gracing that God places over each one of our lives. That,
Yes.
check this out, causes it to be all right. I may have been through a
Ah,
divorce,
come
but
on.
because of the gracing, it's going to be all right. I
Oh,
may
come
have
on.
had to deal with a terminal illness or a situation or something that I did not plan for, but because of the grace of God, what He's revealing about my situation, what He's revealing about me, that I'm more than just an artist. I'm more than just this. I'm more than just that. When I rest in the grace that's on my life, I free God to be God.
That's right. Come
I
on.
free God to be God, and I free Him to manifest the scripture that's really important to me, and that is, Jesus said this over in one of the, I think it's in the Gospel of John. He said, "In this world you're going to have tribulation, but do not fear, because I've overcome the world." When we lay aside the fear of change and transition and the unexpected and the uncertainty, we free the gracing of the "I have overcome the world" to take place in our lives. I need somebody to get that. Come on. So that's why when me and Eric got together, we heard the music that Javon Dawkins, an amazing producer, he's also the owner of my label. When he gave us that music in the middle of the pandemic, I think this is back, y'all, in 2019, we wrote this at the end of that year. Well, no, it was the end of 2020. So we were in the meat of the
Yeah.
pandemic. that was the reason why we could write a song like that, because we've lived long enough, Yaya, to see that God has the power to make it all right when we're open to his sovereignty in our life. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to
Definitely.
encourage people, that just blessed me when you said that I'm more than just this.
Yes.
And that's a
Yeah.
place of acceptance. It's a place of acceptance, and it's powerful.
It is very, very much so powerful.
Yeah.
William, man, I tell you, a lot of people don't know a lot about me. And I
Yeah.
kind of keep it the way it is because I don't want to reveal too much.
Come
But
on.
I went 7 years and I am an ordained pastor as well. But people
Wow.
don't know that. And I don't
Come
tell
on.
people that because I like to see, I like to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I
the
know. I already know how it goes. Yeah. I feel you.
but the biggest thing that I find is that people put themselves down so much so that they have studied, they have learned, but yet
Hmm.
they still don't believe.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's what I want to say. At the point of me saying, okay, I'm a singer and I had a regular job, it
Hmm.
took someone else to come into my life to say,
Mm.
hey, come to New York City to this seminar. I
Wow.
paid for you.
Mm.
I
Come
paid
on.
for you. 3
Yeah.
grand. I paid for you to come. This is going to be a life-changing moment for you.
Come
I,
on.
I had 2 days to go. It was like she called me Monday. I had to be there by Wednesday.
You have to
I
make a
said,
decision.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm coming. So I hopped on a
Wow.
plane. I went up. That Sunday was my last. I'm sorry. Tuesday was my last day. Sunday,
Hmm.
I prayed. I made an email to my employer
Hmm.
resigning
Wow.
because I figured the one thing out
Wow.
that most people don't know.
Mm.
There is no such thing as imposter syndrome.
Woo.
You
Come
either
on.
know it
You don't.
or you don't.
Mm.
But you're not an imposter.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just don't have faith.
Come on.
And I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I quit my job. And I have been doing this and my singing ever since. There
Come
is no
on.
such thing as imposter syndrome. If the Most High blesses you with a gift, run with
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
Run with it.
At some point you have to take the risk and trust the knowing, because
Yep.
I think many times people think that faith works by the sky opening up and a dove descending upon your forehead, and uh, and unicorns surrounding. It doesn't work like that. It's
No.
a peace and a knowing. It's a peace in the midst of many times chaos,
Mm-hmm.
because your situation is always going to communicate something to you that is opposite of what faith says. But in the midst of it, there's a piece about what you should be doing. And
Yeah.
I have a similar testimony in the way that God birthed me into entrepreneurship. I had just come back from working with my boy Deidre Catton at Megafest, and this is years ago. This is like '05. We were in
Wow.
Atlanta. He was doing a show called 85 South at the time. And I was the only independent artist. I was amongst people like Tamala Man. That's when she first started
Mm-hmm.
actually doing her solo career. And I remember going there and just speaking to imposter syndrome, just saying, like, Lord, why did excited, but
Yeah.
like, Lord, I hope I measure up. But in the midst of
Yeah.
that, God, he proved himself because I made a decision to show up and to do what I had been doing,
That's
what
right.
brought me to the party. But fast forward, coming back home, I had an opportunity, and that opportunity was to go into my own place of business. And the way that it happened, it was unexpected. I was not
Wow.
expecting God to open up the door. We pray for things, we declare things, we speak things into the atmosphere, and then God begins to respond to
Mm-hmm.
what we have spoken, because He's a God of His word, right? And
That's
so He
right.
starts responding to the things that you've released into the atmosphere that is attached to faith and attached to His will for your life. And then He starts making it happen. And when I tell you, y'all,
Mm.
literally within a week's time, I had opened up a salon to the point where I didn't even have a name yet to put on the business license.
Oh
That's
my
how quick
gosh.
God did it. And it
Mm.
happened, yeah, out of me, like you said, in a
Just to
moment, I had that knowing it's time to jump.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
It's just time.
it's
Geronimo.
time to jump. And so for those dreamers out there, like you said, those people that have been believing God, it keeps you up at night. You're saying, God, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how you're going to make it all right, but I know that there's something beyond what I'm experiencing now.
That's
You got to
right.
go for it. You
You
got
got
to
to do
go
it.
for it.
You got to
Yeah.
go for it.
Yes,
And you know
ma'am.
what? I'm not telling people to quit your job. I didn't quit my job immediately. Okay. Okay. I just, we
Don't
have to
do
put
it
the
if the Lord
disclaimer
ain't
in there.
told you to do it now. Come
Okay.
on.
All right. Yeah. Right. Just put the disclaimer in there. I ain't telling you to
Look,
quit
I
your
ain't got
job.
no check for you.
I ain't telling you to quit your job now. Okay, hold on a second.
Listen, right. Wait a minute.
Hold
Whoa.
on, whoa.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
yes, yes.
what I did was it was 15 minutes of preparation every morning, and that 15
Mm,
minutes turned into 30, and the 30
wow.
turned into an hour. And then after a while, I was like, okay, wait a minute. My job is interrupting my flow. Y'all
Mm,
got to either pay me more, match
yeah.
what I'm already making with my little
Come on.
side hustle that I'm doing over here,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
or I'm
Yeah.
gone.
Come on.
And because my side hustle, which is now
Hmm.
my business,
Come on.
was outperforming and out bringing more
Wow.
money in
Come on.
than my regular job, which was
Yeah.
dwindling, I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm out.
Hmm.
And that's
You,
how I did it. I don't suggest people just like quit their job. Don't do that, baby. Don't do
you,
that.
you, you're
Slow
tapping
your
so much.
roll.
You're tapping so much into the visionary and the entrepreneurial side of who I am. When you shared that, you are literally sharing a key for those that
Yeah,
are to be entrepreneurs and people
right.
that are to produce something, because I am a hybrid, so I can do a lot of things and a lot of things well. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when God has blessed you and gifted you in many areas, it is hard to learn how to be and how to
Yeah,
show up, because what the enemy wants to do is he wants to overwhelm you so you don't do any of it. I've been there.
exactly.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so he wants you to be overwhelmed. But what you just said is a very big key for those that are in that place of becoming, to understand that what God taught me in this, and I heard it in your testimony, is you do what the demand. I'll say, let me say it like this: you
Mm-hmm.
do what you pour according to the demand of the oil on your life.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay, so you pour, if the oil's on the painting, keep on pouring. Come
that's
on,
right.
because that's what is producing, But if
Mm-hmm.
the oil starts coming, it starts being demanded from the singing. That's what you got to do. But
Yep.
you just done pushed us all the way over to
we, but
look at you, look
but
at you
no,
doing what you're
wait.
doing.
Hey.
Uh,
No, but wait. Being an indie artist, being an independent artist is a business. It's a business. It's like any other
Absolutely.
business. Like when you opened up your salon, it was a
Hmm.
business. You have to
Yes.
put time into it. You have to dedicate
Absolutely.
to it. You have people renting
Absolutely.
chairs from you. You
That's
have a
right.
business. So
Hmm.
literally, these are different things and the different aspects of the business that you have to look
Hmm.
into. With
Oh yeah.
singing, with music, with writing, there's
Hmm.
publishing.
Oh
There's
yes.
there's associations.
Yes.
There is sound scan and
That's
this all
right.
the BMI and the
Hmm.
ASCAP and the
Yep.
song trusts, and then
Oh
you
yeah.
have to do your overseas, and then you have to do your trademark.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
literally, you have so many different aspects, and now
Hmm.
that's just a little bit of the business.
Oh yeah. That's just, yeah. You're just
Just
scratching the
scratching the surface.
surface.
But if you don't
Yeah.
write your own music, your own lyrics,
Hmm.
you are not capitalizing
Yeah.
on your craft. You're not.
Absolutely.
You're just not.
Absolutely.
You're
Yeah,
not.
I just, I, like you said, you have to really be willing to expand and go beyond some of
Mm-hmm.
the limitations that we put on ourselves. Like I said, it's been a joy, by me listening to somebody that could see further than I could see at the time. What God did for me is He put me in a room with a person I was listening to since I was a teenager,
Mm.
and I was now writing with them, being able to work with Eric Dawkins.
That's so
Also,
amazing.
on the upcoming record, I was able to work with people like my buddy. I don't know if you guys have heard of Michael Kilgore, Grammy
Mm-hmm.
nominated. He's in the R&B world doing things on Broadway. Just I've been able to work with so many people just by cultivating the gift that God gave me. And
Hmm.
I just have another testimony
Yeah,
as we
go
talk
right
about
ahead.
this whole idea of all right, because I really want people to get this message, and I can't wait for y'all to hear the song.
Yeah.
But this message is so important to me because I went through a time in my life back in 2010 where I lost my father, and it was in a sudden manner. I was in Chicago recording with a very well-known producer by the name of Percy Beatty. If you don't know who he is, you've probably heard music that he's associated with. And I'm just gonna say this song, "I Believe I Can Fly."
Oh, come
He
on.
was he was a co-writer of that song,
Mm,
and so he's written for people like the Tommies. He's worked with people like Whitney Houston, and I
mm,
just so many amazing people. But we have been working together, and I got
mm,
to the airport, and I got a call from my mom, and the call was that your dad has stopped breathing.
mm.
The paramedics are working on him. We're praying that everything will be all right, and I have to get on the plane like that. When I tell you, I wanted to fall out in that airport because my dad was my rock. He was a real father. He was, he was my hero. And not
Mm.
only that, he was my pastor too. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was he,
Yeah,
he was my go-to. And so in
goodness.
that moment, all I could hear was his voice telling me, son, if he would always tell me there's going to be a day where I'm not going to be here with you, but you're going to have to depend on God. And it was amazing to me because, we talk about having faith, but
Right.
it's easy to talk about faith.
Oh,
It's
come on.
it's not so easy to actually live by faith. And in that
No.
moment, I had to be tested to see what I could actually stand under. That's what faith is how much can you bear? How
Hmm.
much can you stand and hold on to your confession of love and
Right.
forgiveness and hope and holding on to your dreams? And so in that moment,
Mm.
I just heard my father saying, son, you better sit up in this chair and you better trust God because God got you better than I can ever have you.
That's
I
right.
got home, plane landed, and I turned on my phone and I was receiving condolences through Facebook, y'all. I was absolutely devastated, and it's important that I share this with people because when I'm singing a song about things being all right, I don't want people to just think that my life and my journey has been perfect or I've never been through anything. I am a person that has been through loss. I've been a person that has had money issues. I've been a
Yeah.
person that has experienced all kind of challenges in their journey, and
Mm.
specifically losing a good loved one, a good father. We talk about bad fathers, but he was a good father, and I
Hmm.
lost him suddenly. And in the midst of that, Yaya, I could tell you that I'm a better man as a result of the journey of going through it. And I watched God make my situation all right. The situation made me a better businessman. It launched me into the pastoral ministry. It
Hmm.
was so much that started in my life as a result of going through a time of what I thought was destruction and mayhem in my life. And I watched God turn that thing around, and he showed me that, son, you're graced for the journey that I had you on. So I just want to encourage people as you listen to
Wow.
the song, it's a party song. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I
It's a
know.
celebration song, but
Wow.
within that celebration, it's the realization that even though you're going through hard times, better days are inevitable for those that trust
Definitely.
in the Lord. Yeah,
Definitely, definitely,
yeah.
definitely. I want to, and my condolences to you.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
I literally, and I kind of have a different viewpoint. I
Mhm.
watched my father suffer.
Wow.
It would have been better if he would have just,
Wow.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
clocked out.
Yeah.
I watched him suffer.
Yeah.
I watched my aunt suffer. It would have been better for me if they would have just been
Man.
clock out.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know it still hurts.
Oh yeah.
It would have still hurt either
Hmm.
way, but
Yeah.
to watch someone suffer rather
Hmm.
than just to say they stopped breathing, they were
Hmm.
there and then now they're not. To
Yeah.
me, that's like the best way to go. It's like,
Yeah. I said, like, you don't, either way it hurts. You know what I'm
it
saying?
hurts
Either
either
way, I
way.
tell people
Either
it
way, it's
hurts
gonna
either way.
hurt.
And sometimes knowing longer, I've had people that have had. I had a friend, and his grandfather, I think, was 99 years old, and he was
Oh
like,
no.
"Oh, I just thought you was gonna be." I'm like, "Now, how long did you think he was gonna stick around?" But it's human. It's the human
Yeah.
condition to feel like, it's going to be there forever.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, it is.
God knows. Listen, it hurts. It
That's
hurts
right. It does.
quick or slow. I tell you, it hurts. Yeah.
But it's all right.
Yeah. But it's all
It's all
right.
right. It's all
It's
right.
all right.
And it's gonna
Yeah.
be okay. And you're gonna live with it. And it's, you're gonna remember the memories. I
Oh, yeah.
truly have great memories of my dad. And I know you
Wow.
do too. And those
Yes.
memories and those lessons are going to be
Hmm.
with us until the day we pass on. And we're
Absolutely.
mandated to pass great memories and lessons to our children and to the people
Yes.
who deem us role models. And
Yes.
it's all right though. It's all
It's all
right.
right.
It's
It
all
is all
right.
right.
It's all
Yeah,
now.
I want y'all to definitely. I think she's flashing it on the screen, but we got
Yes, I
some
got it.
amazing things coming up. So I definitely want y'all to connect to me on social media, and it's
That's
not
right.
nobody else. It's not my manager responding to you. It's actually your boy Demps. So I believe in keeping people encouraged. I believe in really pushing people to go after what God has for them. And so when you hear this music, you're listening to somebody that has been through the trenches. I'm a real brother that just loves God and trusts God. And I'm watching him keep his promise in my life. And that's why my assignment is what I call to be a hope agent, just to keep people encouraged that it's going to get better. You're going to get there. Stay committed, stay focused, stay prayerful, and watch the hand of God do. Check this out, what we can't do. Come on.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. It's all right. You cannot let your
Yeah.
life pass you by
That's
and
right.
not use your gifts and bury them in the sand.
That's right.
You
That's right.
cannot bury your gifts because at the
Can't.
end of everything, you have to
Hmm.
take back what you did and
Come
say,
on.
here, this is
Yeah.
what I did.
Come on.
It's like the master that had, that gave his coins out. And
That's
then
right.
one
Hmm.
person buried it and gave him the
That's
same
right.
coin.
Those
No, you're supposed to
talents.
multiply that.
That's right. Come on.
Hello.
Yeah.
So
Hello.
I would love for you to come back so we can talk about that and talk and maybe encourage other people. And then, if you have
Absolutely.
some more music,
Yes.
man, I am telling you, I had an amazing time doing New to You, and I actually featured William Demps' song All Right on the show. But we're going to have him intro his song. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to go to williamdemps.com. We're going to have all of that information in the description box below. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. He's everywhere. And I'm going to say, you guys, please follow, like, and comment. Don't worry about me. Go to my guest. Go to my guest. That's how we do it here. Let's support one another, man. I'm out. I'm out. Don't forget to dare to be different, guys. And I'm out. Here's William.
What's up, everybody? Now that we've gotten acquainted, y'all are family, so I'm just gonna call y'all my cousins. So I want y'all, my cousins, to check out my brand new single entitled "All Right." Right now, we're gonna feature it right here with my girl Yaya Diamond. Y'all get up and dance a little bit, cause I'm a dance a little bit when she plays it. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Peace.
You stepping with William Demps with "It's All Right, baby." All right. Here we go.
Cool.
Something's in the air, can't you feel it? Spreading and it's taking over me. Can't explain this feeling, but I like it. Got me dancing in the middle of the street. It's contagious, so if you're close to me and you ready to, you can move right out of what you're going through. Grateful for everything. No complaining, it's amazing. I'm right where I wanna be. I got a feeling everything is gonna be. It's gonna be alright. 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 Won't apologize for it, I'm sorry. Celebrating my life, I'm happy. If you don't mind, can you do me a favor? You do you, just let me do me. It's contagious, so if you're close to me and you ready to, you can move right out of what you're going through. Grateful grateful for everything. No complaining, it's amazing. I'm right where I wanna be. I got a feeling it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. The sun is breaking through the clouds, already getting better. Just be thankful for your now. Just know it's not gonna last forever. I get a feeling it's gonna be. It's gonna be alright. Are you waiting on the rent to get on the get up from there? You good to move and throw your hands up in the air. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be
I did to be different. I did.